Continue on South Ballard Avenue for 1 mile.
Hey everyone, well, I'm back. I am going just down the road, like 8 minutes from my trailer. Somebody on Facebook Marketplace posted a bunch of puzzles for free. And I love puzzles. I just don't have no room to do any. But I used to do them all the time and glue them, and hang them up. But a lady that I know, actually her dad is the one that comes and mows my yard. He has a very small mowing business, very small. And they live down the road from me in another direction. And they're just always so kind to me. And I've known the family for quite a few years. But his daughter, and I think even her husband may like to do puzzles. I'm not sure, but she loves to do puzzles. And she's at work. She's the one that I gave those...
In a quarter mile, turn left onto South Birmingham Street.
She's the one I gave those 4 baby chicks to a couple years ago that man had abandoned in my yard. Well, I agreed to watch them for him. It's a long story. If you know, you know. Anyway.
Turn left onto South Birmingham Street.
I'm going to... I contacted the person that posted because, like I said, person lives just 8 minutes away, not far.
Continue on South Birmingham Street for 3/4 of a mile.
And she said the puzzles are free and I'm welcome to go get them. She's had them out on their sidewalk. If they're all still there, I can take them all, or I can take whatever's there. She is at work, so she doesn't know what's left. So I thought it's not gonna be too far out of my way to go check in. If there are any, it'll be great to give to my friend. Friends helping friends. Now, let me tell you about the CTA coronary scan.
Head west on West Kirby Street toward Easter Drive. Continue for 3/4 of a mile.
I'm trying to think. I was trying to remember the number she gave me. Okay, so if you saw my earlier video that I put the title that I couldn't find a parking space, something like that. I wonder. I can't click onto the map thing to tell me nothing. So she said Easter Drive, and I passed that way back there. So I got there to the hospital and...
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Southwest Gateway.
Now that lane. Not only did I register once at the hospital, they have you register twice. Now yesterday, they called me and registered me over...
At the light, turn right onto Southwest Gateway.
So I actually registered 3 times with 3 different people. Hey, they want to make sure you're who you're supposed to be. And got registered and just waited about 2 minutes before they called me and got in the room where they were going to go over some questions and then hopefully take a blood pressure and all that. Well, she went over the 2 medicines that the cardiologist had prescribed. One was the prednisone that I was supposed to start taking. You take it 13 hours before your scan, then 7 hours, then 1 hour. The reason I'm supposed to take it is because of a bad reaction I had once to the contrasting dye when I was in an MRI. So, to prevent that, the cardiologist ordered that prescription. And then another prescription, can't remember the name of that medicine, but you're supposed to take one last night.
Continue on Southwest Gateway for 3/4 of a mile.
And then one an hour before your scan, just like the last prednisone one. Well, she had asked me about them, and you know, I don't lie, so I told her I had missed the dose of the prednisone, and I only took one of the other medicine because I had never heard of it, and my body's very funny with medicine. So I read up on it, and it helps lower your blood pressure and some other stuff, but I don't have high blood pressure. I just didn't have a good feeling about taking one last night and one this morning, so I only took the one this morning. Well, she said that wasn't a big deal. However, she chewed me up one side and down the other about missing a dose of the prednisone. I mean, she let me have it. And she started off very rude. But you know me, I thought, well, maybe she had a bad...
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Nickelville Lane.
Maybe she's had a bad morning already. Maybe she's got problems at home. Maybe she don't feel good. Really the only time it started to bother me was when she'd ask me a question.
Turn left onto Nickelville Lane, then your destination will be on the right.
And I'm trying to answer it, and she cuts me off.
Your destination is on the right.
Oh, yeah. I'll be right back. I came prepared. I'll be right back. But that bag is full, and plus there's 4 or 5 that I couldn't fit in the bag. Look at this. Look at that. I might ask my friend if she makes this one, if I buy the puzzle glue, if she would glue it. I'd like to hang that up in my bedroom. That's a nice fall picture. Okay, when I get done talking to you, I will contact the Facebook person and rate her a number 5. What was I saying? Yeah, she was asking questions and cutting me off. And finally she says, I'll tell you, I love this. 0 sugar, 0 added sugar. I drank a bottle of water I just lost the cap. on the way down to Plano. All right, think. Put your thinking cap on. Which direction are you going? Finally, she says, well, I had asked her something about the scan, and she never answered me. She said, well, unfortunately, absolutely not. I'm trying to get this back flap up. She says, unfortunately, absolutely not, according to protocol, will we be able to do your scan today because you missed a dose of the prednisone. So I'm trying to be rational, right? Respond, don't react. And I'm trying to tell her that for over 30 years, there's so much radiation in my body. Over 30 years, I've been having MRIs and CT scans because of the diseases. And it just was a couple, either 2 or 3 years ago, the first time ever that I had a reaction to the dye. Maybe they gave me the wrong dose. I mean, it happens. And, or maybe I've become allergic to it. Who knows? And, she was not having it. And she was getting ruder, if that's a word. You there? So I nicely asked her if there was a way that, would she be willing, or another tech, or a nurse, or one of the other cardiologists that are there, could they please make a phone call to my cardiologist who knows me, knows my history, and see what he says? He's part of that network, Baylor Network, and his office, he does work at the heart hospital, but his office for appointments like I had with him last week is just down the road from where I was. Could somebody please just call there? I mean, I probably could, but they will get through. I'd have to leave a message, and who knows when, anyway. She never answered me. She walked out of the room. Left me wondering, well, are they not going to do it? Are they going to think about it and do it? Are they going to call my cardiologist? Or are they going to leave me in here? Do I get up and leave? I didn't know what to do because she walked out without saying anything. So, about 10 minutes later, a nurse came. Now that first one was just a tech, not a nurse. And so a nurse came, a male nurse, very nice. And he started off saying that the technician had explained the situation. And he was going to continue, but I stopped him. I said, I need to stop you right there in your tracks. That technician did not explain to you the situation because she was asking me questions and I was trying to answer and she was cutting me off. So, she didn't really tell you everything because she never got all the information. This is the situation. And I told him everything. And he's getting paid, to help people, so I told him everything. And one of his answers was, yeah, they could try to call my cardiologist, of course. But my cardiologist doesn't have the authority on decision making. There at the heart hospital, I don't understand. He does work there too. And they're all supposed to be a team. So he said that he was going to go talk to a cardiologist about it. And he left and was gone quite a while. I was system to hopefully prevent any kind of choking. Well, he said, first of all, death. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. If you know Jesus, we don't fear no death. Look forward to it. Hallelujah. So that was the first thing. And then choking, stroke, a whole list of things. There's no guarantee, even with 150 milligrams of prednisone, because it would not have enough time to get in me. And if I went into any kind of choking or shock or anything, he would be there and have the text stop scanning. I would hope so. And he would get me right over to the ER, which is right there. I mean, that's the perfect place to have a problem. You're at the heart hospital, supposed to be one of the best in the country, Baylor Scott and White. What else? Or he would go talk to the scheduler, save me the trouble of stopping by the scheduling desk and having to wait, or even calling the call center. He would go talk to the scheduler and see if I can't get in tomorrow, and if not on Monday. But also he would have someone to call my cardiologist to send in a new order of the prednisone, those 3 different times, 13, 7, and 1. And hopefully I could pick that up by this evening, so I could start it for tomorrow if they can get me in tomorrow. And if not, then I would have it for Monday. What would be my pleasure? I said my pleasure would be to just get this thing over with. I said, now listen, I am not afraid of death. I'm looking forward to it, because this world's not my home. And I've had all those risks thrown at me before when, brain surgery, you could die. You could have a stroke during the surgery. You could have a stroke after the surgery and all those things. And I said, but I went ahead after praying about it, and I had the brain surgery and everything went fine. I said, God brought me through sepsis, brought me through the diabetic ketoacidosis. It's not that I'm choosing to live on the edge. Hey, Job didn't choose to live on the edge, right? God allowed things for a reason. And I said, that's the tornado. Can you hear it? Tornado siren. It's not we're having a tornado. It's the first Wednesday of every month they test them. So I said, I'm not worried about that. In fact, this may sound morbid, but I would prefer to die than get so sick. Nausea for me is the worst thing. I'd rather throw up buckets full of whatever than be nauseous. And so I said, so that part don't, worry me, that there's a possibility of death. We live with that possibility all the time. What I don't like is the possibility of choking while I'm in there, in the machine. That's not good. Possibility of, there's a big word for it, but basically it's your throat swells up. And some other things. So I said, why don't we see if I'm able to get in here tomorrow, hopefully in the morning, because I would just not be able to come in the afternoon. I can't drive in that traffic from Wiley to Plano. And if there's no opening tomorrow, I'm willing to wait till Monday. I mean, you're willing to work with me, I'm willing to work with you, is what I told them. You're very approachable. You're very kind. You listen. You went to check and consult with someone that's over you. And I appreciate all that. So that's what we decided. And then he said, all you have to do now when you leave here is keep your phone on and wait for the scheduling person to call you, and she will call you after she talks to your cardiologist. He said that she has had problems with my cardiologist. So she's thinking that he may not make that prescription today, may make her wait until in a couple of days, but that don't make sense to me. I mean, that's not hurting her, it's hurting me, and him and I have a good relationship. So that part, I mean, it's not my monkey, not my circus, right? I can't figure it out. I'm just driving in a circle here while I talk to you. And so far, she hasn't called, which, it's only 1 o'clock, so I'm sure they had lunch. So that's what did not happen. You have to, I don't know. Now this scan, if you've never had it done, I've never had it done. It's called the CTA coronary. I've read up on it. I talked to him about it, the nurse. I talked to the cardiologist about it. It's supposed to be one of the best heart scans that you can ask for. The nurse told me it takes about 6 minutes. Of course, they take your blood pressure and start the IV for the contrast and all that first, and when that contrast is in your body is when they put you in to the machine to start scanning, and the scan itself takes about 6 minutes. They do a couple minutes at a time, take you out, put you back, take some more scans, pull you out, put you back, and in that 6 minutes, he told me they get like 4,000 pictures of your heart and of your arteries. Isn't that amazing? So they check for plaque and some other stuff, but I did ask if it will show my aorta, because I have an aorta issue. The nurse said yes. The cardiologist said it may show part of it, but he could have, after, changed the order. Like the nurse said, it all depends on what he's focusing on, what he's majoring on, what he's exactly looking for. So I get it. But I'll tell you, my cardiologist doesn't play around. He is on the ball. In fact, I might have said this the other day, after I had the one test in his office, he was quiet for a few minutes. I mean, that test was fine, but he was thinking about what to do. And he said, you know what, let's skip an echocardiogram. Let's not waste time or money. Of course, I have Medicaid and Medicare, and so I hate to say it, but the government, taxpayers pay, but I'm below poverty level. So that's what it's there for. It's one of the reasons it's there for, I should say. So he said, let's not waste time, not waste money, not have an echocardiogram. Let's skip the nuclear stress test, because I've had 2 of those in the past before. Let's skip that. Let's go right over to the heart hospital, and you have a CTA coronary. This test, he told me, will show so much more. And it's just one appointment. I'm not going to have to, and then a follow-up appointment, but I'm not going to have to go for the echo, then a follow-up, go for nuclear, then a follow-up, Ugh. Hey, that's wasting gas too. He didn't mention that, but I was thinking that. So he's really on top of it, and I'm thankful for that. What else? Well, I guess that's it. That's how that turned out. Yeah, I think that's it. It took forever for that last video I made to upload. I don't know why. That motorcycle wearing a stop sign. It used to be I could make a video and it wouldn't take hardly no time to upload. Now it's taking a long time. I understand. Was it yesterday when I called you up when I was driving? That was a long video, so that I understand took a long time. But the one I made this morning, I don't think it was too long, and it took a long time to upload. I need to watch, because I notice people don't like long videos. And when I get talking and driving like that, I just talk and talk and talk. I feel like you're right here in the passenger seat. But people don't like the long videos. Here comes a bunch of, I'm sure they're going to this truck. It's a pickup truck with a trailer, a flatbed, and it has, now what are they doing? And it has a tractor on it and some landscaping stuff. And that group of guys must be coming from Whataburger for lunch. Yep, they're heading there. Do you have a Whataburger? I've been in Texas since 2011, and I only ate at Whataburger one time. Oh, now those... Well... And I got sick off that food. The one time I had it, it's when I first moved here. Friends took me to a Whataburger. Back home, we didn't have one. I don't know if they do now. And I got sick. I cannot eat fast food like that. I hope that group of landscapers don't get sick, because that'll be a problem. All right, I'm going to go. I just thought, well, that was fresh on my mind. I would let you know how it went. And hopefully they can get me in tomorrow, and if not, Monday. That's all okay. Okay, I'll talk to you later.